Hello and welcome back to Near Dark Podcast, episode 68. Today we're gonna talk about as below, as above. No, wait, nope. As above, so below. Starting off great. So before we do that, I am here with Josef and Zombie,
Yo.
and host today is Angel. So before we get into that, how's everyone doing?
I'm doing good. Actually.
Good.
I'm good. I'm okay.
No, that is good.
I have some pain in my back, but besides that, I'm okay.
Alright. Yeah, no, I'm just kind of tired. Me and Zombie went on a 1.25 mile walk
Fuck.
today, and man, my body wasn't awake for that shit. So I'm so tired as shit after that. Alright, so
That sounds fantastic.
I mean, it was nice. Like we were out walking, basically on a hike trail, up at one of the schools, and it was steep uphill
Yeah.
for like 40 minutes straight, and then it was like 10 minutes of steep downhill, and then like 5 minutes of flat walking. It's like, yay. But dogs are happy at least.
I bet they did.
Yeah. Anyone has any recently seen?
Well, I don't really have any recently
tumbleweeds.
seen. But I...
Yeah, I think this might be one of the first episodes where no one has really watched anything.
I haven't watched anything besides the main feature.
I watched one thing.
Yeah, well, I got a question for Zombie first. Did you catch the Maniac remake yet?
I did, actually. I watched it this week. And I don't really know what to say about it. The camera angles were very odd. Not bad, but not what you usually see in a movie. But yeah, they were good, but at the same time not really my cup of tea. And it was very odd seeing Elijah Wood in anything other than Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he has been in quite a few movies.
Yeah.
But, the Lord of the Rings, what's his name in those movies?
Frodo.
Frodo.
Yeah. I guess he's most well known for those movies, so it's kind of weird to see him in anything else.
It's like Zombies said when we were out walking. It's weird seeing Elijah Wood and Daniel Radcliffe in anything other than those, like Harry Potter and Frodo.
Yeah.
So when you see them in a different movie, it's like, what are Harry Potter or what are Frodo doing in this movie?
Yeah.
Like,
But he's still a very exceptional actor in the movie. And,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I very much personally dislike like awkward situations in movies, especially when it comes to like talking and other people, and I felt like I got that vibe from his character, and
Yes.
that's just personally very much me, because I hate that, because I can relate to it, so it's it's kind of like the reason why I can't watch like comedy movies that thrives on like awkward situations where you have like someone caught in the headlights in an awkward situation and everyone's staring at them. I'm like, I needed to pause that movie like a lot because of that.
Well, that's the whole point with
Yeah.
Elijah Wood's character in that film as well. Like, he's this loner
Yeah.
with a Well, a character has a psychosis basically,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like,
and he's very awkward towards other people and whatnot.
yeah, and he did that exceptionally well. And I really liked how he portrayed the character. It's just that he did it too good. And yeah, it was solid, so I can't really say too bad stuff about it. So yeah, it was a good watch, but at the same time, it was a very painful watch.
What did you think about the violence in the film? Because it's a very graphic film.
Yeah, it was.
It throws what's it called? Subtlety out the window, basically.
Yeah, I liked it because it wasn't trying to hide any of the violence that it did, and just was very upfront with it. And yeah, it worked. I don't really know what to say. I'm very much just going offhand.
Well,
But-
it was a decent watch for you then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the violence it wasn't bad. I quite enjoyed it. Other than like the very end where where he got like torn apart, that was like eh. But other than that, it was very fitting for the scenes that it was in.
The violence in the film was more in your face, and it doesn't shy away,
Yeah,
and it basically shows the nastiness of being a brutal serial killer.
Yeah.
You as the viewer is basically the character Frank.
yeah,
Which is Elijah Wood's character,
and
and the last, the climax of the film when
Yeah.
it gets that basically the biggest psychosis of throughout the entire film. Everything that happens in that scene is just in his head.
yeah.
So,
And the thing with having all the violence in your face is very fitting, as most of the movie is from the viewpoint of Frank, as you don't see his face an awful lot. And because you see everything from his face, everything will be in your face, including the violence. And it fits that they don't shy away from that particular part, because that will be the only part that you're missing out from in that regard.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it on that episode that I think the Maniac remake is harder to watch than, for example, a Serbian film, since everything is up in your face in the Maniac remake, while you as a viewer see it from far away in a Serbian film. So it's not. It doesn't have the same effect, at least not for me.
Yeah, you're very much just a viewer of the violence happening in that movie rather than the Maniac. And in the Maniac, you're put in the active role of it happening.
Yeah, you're in the head of Frank, basically.
Yeah, so you don't have any moment where maybe the character you're viewing watch away from the violence, and which will make you watch away from the violence. And the only way is if, like, Frank has a blackout, or if he actually watch away, which he doesn't really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I recommend it to those who are not squeamish against scalping of like the head, or just blood and violence in general.
It's a very violent film.
Yeah,
But okay, so you give it a thumbs up then.
I do.
Nice.
Mm.
Okay, Okay, I got my question answered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I watched one movie, but I didn't like completely watch it. I think I stopped at like when it was 15 minutes left or something because I just couldn't be fucking asked to finish it.
Okay,
So,
which one was it?
Howl, it's a newer movie, but
Oh,
it looks like
it's on a train, right?
yeah, it's
Oh, I love that movie. I love that movie.
it's played out in the Great Britain, and it's your typical werewolf movie.
Yeah.
I thought the effects of the werewolf himself was great, but other than that, like the acting was shit, and so on and forward. So I was like, nah, I can't be fucking asked to finish this movie.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
The ending was a little bit meh, but overall, I thought it was a great movie.
Yeah, no, nah, I don't like it. But yeah, like that's all I've been watching. I haven't been in the mood to watch movies.
Yeah, I've been working a lot, so I haven't had the time to sit down and watch anything. I'm planning to watch, well, 1 or 2 movies tonight, though. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's just been like one of those weeks where nothing is super interesting or fun, so...
Yeah,
Yeah, that happens.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so since that's all for recently seen, let's dive into the synopsis.
Yeah.
You got a trailer first.
Nah, fuck that. Alright, roll the trailer.
My name is Scarlett Marlowe, and I'm a student in urban archaeology.
370 feet beneath this point is a hidden chamber.
That might contain a critical missing piece of our history.
How are we supposed to get down there?
Catacombs. There are 200 miles of tunnels right underneath our feet.
They're holding the remains of 6 million corpses.
Stop. This is the Empire of the Dead.
These are human bones. We go through here?
Let's do it.
Keep slow and steady, yeah?
I think I'm stuck.
Just breathe with me, please. It's okay.
What was that?
Is everyone okay?
I think I am. What the hell do we do now, huh?
We can't go back. We should just keep moving. Tell me we didn't just go in a circle.
It's exactly the same.
No, everything's upside down.
What happened to the entrance?
Wait, there's something here.
Oh my god.
What the hell is this?
When I was a kid, we had a piano that looked exactly like this. I used to play it all the time. The A4 key was messed up. What's going on?
Can you read that?
According to mythology, that's the inscription over the gates of hell. And they should be made to crawl on their bellies to enter the kingdom of darkness.
Did you hear that?
Is somebody there?
What's happening to us? Dad?
It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault!
When a team of explorers ventures into the catacombs that lie beneath the streets of Paris, they uncover the dark secret that lies within this city of the dead. So I know this was a second watch for Joseph. So Zombie, I want your opinion of it first.
Oof.
Yeah, putting you on the spot there.
Yeah. I did not expect it to be a found footage, but I think it wasn't really up there as Wreck, but it wasn't really bad, because it really used the catacombs in a good way, as with the claustrophobia of it all, because that is really like the very essence of what the catacombs in France are.
Yeah.
And just the depth, darkness, and it's just a very good place to play out that kind of fear, because of just the very nature of the place. And the fact that it's a place that actively exists. And
yeah, I mean, they're really using the fact that it's underground and it's very, very tight spaces.
Yeah.
To its advantage.
Yeah. I just am very unsure on the found footage part of it all, because I feel like the acting doesn't really fit the found footage vibe in a way, because in that way the relationships and the way they act towards each other feels very like as if it was supposed to be in a movie and not in a found footage. And the cameras and whatnot, except like I would say from the first intro, was very clean looking, very like this is shot by an actual like film camera and whatnot, and not by a camera that you can casually carry around on you. It was like a bit too clean in my opinion. But yeah,
they had multiple cams.
Yeah, that's a thing that I did like, the fact that they actively choose to have more than one camera in this found footage in order to give you more perspective than one, but actively have a reason to do so. Other than like, we're handing over the camera from one person to another. No, you have an actual cameraman, and which we actually know the face of.
Yeah.
And then you also have all these smaller cameras.
And don't forget that, like, they actually have a cameraman. We actually get to see his face, but he has an actual reason for being there. It's not like, oh, this one guy is just following us around for no particular reason. This is like, oh, he's making a documentary about what I'm doing. That like
and he has a personality as well.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, like you very much see him struggle in some parts, and it's like you can really feel like that he's freaking out when he's doing so. And I think that's like, I think he was the most solid character for me, because of those reasons. You didn't really see much of him, but the moments you did see of him, he was the most real character in the moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, the plot of it all wasn't like bad, and you were not guaranteed to see where it was going, but some of the ways people, at least one death, I think was very, it felt a bit forced, because the car scene,
the burning car,
I think that's where it took the biggest like supernatural turn of it all. It was it was supernatural and creepy before, but that's like the moment it went a bit okay. A bit in your
like
face.
it's a bit overboard.
Yeah, that's a bit in your face. Like every other person had a more, or at the very least the two people that had died before, a more natural death. One head was bashed in, the other one fell from a really high place. And so, like, yeah, you will die of that. And then you had the third death. He was just sucked into a burning car from hell. Like,
Yeah.
it felt like,
there's a reason for it.
yeah.
Why that death scene is like the way it is.
I think it will make sense if you know the context to it, but for a first time watch, knowing absolutely next to nothing of the movie before, it felt a bit odd and out of place.
Yeah, I felt the same way the first time I saw it. The last 30 minutes, I was just sitting, scratching my head, wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Until I read up on the film after I had seen it once. Then I understood what the hell the movie was about, really.
Yeah. So it is very much like that kind of movie that most of it made sense, and then there were certain parts that makes no sense unless you know the context to it, because you had that and you had the stone figures and the hands. The hands was a nice touch, I think, because of the previous scenes we had where one of them fell into the water. But it also was a bit of a twist that you actually had survivors in this. That it wasn't like... It was looked like found footage, but at the same time it was technically not found footage because there were survivors to it. Which was...
And there's a reason for that as well.
Yeah. It felt very much like... Otherwise, how would, like, the cameras make it up to the surface? I feel. But yeah, the way it ended with them having to crawl out of the manhole, that was like... The way they did it, it was very nice. Because of, like, the whole title and everything. It was or is, rather, a good movie and a good watch. But at the same time, it doesn't really stand on the same legs as Wreck for me, but at the same time it's... I would say, like, that and Wreck are good movies in the found footage for different reasons, but not at the same level.
Yeah.
So I do recommend this movie to watch.
So what's your rating on it?
For now, I will give it a 6.5. Or a 7, rather. A 7 out of 10.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, Joseph, so what's your opinion of the movie?
Yeah, well, like we already said, this was a rewatch for me. I can't really remember what... Besides the 30 last minutes, I don't remember much what I thought about it overall. But yeah, I think it's an alright film. I know it's made by the... what were they called? The Dowdle brothers. Jan-Erik Dowdle and Drew Dowdle. Who made they actually made the Wreck remake Quarantine, as well as Devil, the Devil in the Elevator movie. And they also did the Poughkeepsie Tapes, which is basically a serial killer mockumentary. We'll cover it at some point. It's really creepy. But yeah, among these films they've done, which I have seen at least, I think this is their weakest, I kind of guess. Quarantine is of course a remake, and not an original idea from them. So but it's. Since it's based on one of my favorite found footage films, I guess it kind of works better than As Above, So Below. I don't have that much to say about this one really, in my opinion. I think it's overall is an alright movie. I love the setting of the film. And you know, even though I don't suffer from claustrophobia myself, I think the film has a handful, oh, excuse me, a handful of pretty effective scenes which are really claustrophobic and creepy. Like you know, just at the beginning when they start to crawl into the tunnels.
Yeah.
And the cameraman, what's his name?
Be something. Yeah.
Benji, I think. He gets stuck, and you can just tell that how the panic in him just starts to rise, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't have that much to say about it really. I think it's overall an alright film. What I don't like about the film is the last 10-15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
It feels like it has overstayed its welcome by that point, and
Yeah.
they should have wrapped it up a bit sooner than when they did. The whole running back to put the stone in the wall segment of the film just drags on and on and on, even though it's like what like 2 minutes or something of the film, 1.5 minutes. It feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And nothing really. Sure, there are a couple of things happening throughout that segment, but you know, it's not heart stopping by any means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't like the ending of the film either, like Zombie mentioned. Even though I understand why they made it like they did, since, and I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but the film is basically a loose adaptation of Dante's Inferno.
Yep.
Which I think is... I think it's an interesting take on the first part of the Divine Comedy poem. But, yeah. I don't have that much else to say, really. It's far from the worst found footage film I've seen. There are found footage films out there that are way more terrible than this one.
Oh yeah.
But it's not in the top tier of that subgenre either. At least not for me.
Yeah.
I like they've taken Dante's Inferno and basically put it in a modern setting, and most of the execution of the film is good, but the length of the film could have been shortened down a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah. They could have cut like a lot of what happened in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have shortened down the running back part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for now. I will give it a 6 out of 10.
Nice, not bad.
I think that's one of the lowest ratings you've ever given a movie.
No, the lowest rating I've given a movie is actually 1. That was... what the fuck was the name of it?
Was it The Bleeder? W.
Yeah. That was one of them. Deadly Little Christmas I gave 1 as well.
Oh, yeah.
And...
Leprechaun 2?
Which one?
Leprechaun 2?
No, I didn't give that 1. I think I gave that like a 4 or 5.
Ah.
I can't remember. It's been so long now. So, but yeah, 6 out of 10.
Yeah, alright. Alright, so I guess it's my turn.
Yes.
So, I found this movie through Foundflix. Like I do with a shit ton of movies. Like he got a good taste in movies, that dude.
Yeah.
Joseph, I think you would really like him because he always sits in front of his movie collection, and it's pretty big. So I watched a review.
I will check him out.
So I watched a review of this movie. I think I watched it like 5 or 6 times before I actually decided to watch it. This is a third time watch. Going in, like, I knew the whole thing about Dante's Inferno, and since I'm into shit like that, I know fairly well about most things that has to do with it, and I enjoyed it. It was not up to my expectation. Like, my expectation was really high. I was like, oh, this is gonna be an amazing movie, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be a good watch. I didn't enjoy certain parts, and the end, I would say that either cut it down a little bit or rewrite it. Because it felt like they tried to speedrun the ending, like, oh, I need to get the stone back. How did I just remember that? Like, she's supposed to be so well read up on this. She is supposed to have all the knowledge about this. But it takes her, like, 90% of the movie to remember, oh, I have to go back with the stone.
Yeah.
And the claustrophobia, I have claustrophobia, and I had a hard time watching the start there where he gets stuck.
Oh, yeah.
And suffering from anxiety and stuff made it even worse. So it's like, yeah, but at the same time,
Well, with other words, the movie scared you.
Like the claustrophobia parts got my skin crawling, definitely. At the same time, I did feel like, why isn't he just like why isn't he just moving the bones that he's stuck on? Because to me,
he's in a state of panic.
Yeah.
So I guess he's not thinking.
I guess it's like, me as a viewer, I can see that, like, do this, and this, and you will be free, or make this, and this, and it will be easier. But for a person in a panic state, like, they don't have the clear thinking. Like, definitely, I understand that. But yeah, like, overall, it was pretty good. I definitely agree that the car scene was, like, it came out of left field. Like, yeah, it has a meaning and it has, like, a reason to why it happened, and that's what they're discussing towards the end of the movie, and that's why they're like, oh, I have to, like, basically accept that this is why things are happening. Like, the one guy having a child that he is basically...
They have to admit to their sins.
Yeah.
Repent them to survive.
Yeah.
I haven't read the Divine Comedy, but I read up on the film, and from what I've understood, they have to admit their sins, repent them, and then take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And these things also happens in Dante's Inferno, the first part of the Divine Comedy. And the beginning, when they crawling through that tunnel to get into the tunnels, when Benji gets stuck, the tunnel collapses, and that happens also in Dante's Inferno. And in Dante's Inferno, once Dante enters hell, he is unable to leave the same way he came, so he must continue downward through hell. Where the only exit is at the very bottom of hell.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what happens to the group. So, and I guess the court, sure, I can agree with you guys about it coming out of nowhere, but I can't remember which circle they're in at that part.
So basically, since I watched Foundflix review of the movie and explanation, his thoughts on it was that he must have left someone in a car that blew up.
Yeah,
And he was able to help them, but he chose not to because he was selfish at that point.
Yeah, they're in the ninth circle at that point, treasury. I got a quote here, but I'll let you finish up your thoughts about the film before I read out it.
Yeah. However, I need to ask you guys because I wasn't completely paying attention when the other girl died. Was it that, quote unquote, the mole bashed her head in, or was she bashing her own head in?
He bashed her head in.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, so I saw that right. I was like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on? Yeah, it's like, the fact that they found him is to me like, what the fuck? Because, so they say that he disappeared 2 years ago. He cannot have been the real mole. He must have been some form.
It was his soul.
Yeah.
He was trapped in limbo, which is the first circle of hell.
Yeah.
So he was a specter in limbo.
Yeah. And like the guy that leads them to Papa or whatever they call him, he's also a lost spirit of some sort.
Who?
So you know, like they're in the catacombs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And their discussion, like, how are we gonna get to the grave? And they're like, we can't really get here. We need to get into the, like, quote unquote locked down areas of the catacombs. And they're sitting a guy there, like, writing in a book or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I read something. A theory was that guy was the guy in the burning car. I think it was him at least.
It's definitely possible, because their hair was very similar. Like, they both had very, very curly hair. But yeah, like, I was super into watching this, but like I said, it did not hold to my expectation. I liked the way they made it into found footage, because to me, if they would have made it a, like, quote unquote normal movie, where you watch from, like, a different view and not the view of the actors, it would not have been as good. The fact, like, you follow a team of explorers that are trying to find something that's basically a myth, I don't know, I like it. And it's noticeable that the people behind the movie has experience making found footage movies.
Yeah.
And I was like, and like some is like, I really like that they have this, like, more than one camera, and like Josef said, that he has a personality, that he's not just a filler, like, whatever, he's a dead body that's just following them around. And that you get to see different perspectives, different fears.
Yeah.
It's good.
When I come to think of it, I think I like the concept of the film, putting Dante's Inferno in a modern setting, more than I like the movie in itself, if that makes sense.
Okay, so
because I really like that portion of the poem, the Dante's Inferno part, where he travels down into hell.
Yeah.
Since I'm a big fan of the 2010 game based on that poem.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's an alright film, but I think I like the concept more than the film itself.
It's like FYI, guys. I love the fact that the kids screaming outside is actually being picked up by my mic.
Ooh, love it.
Kids. But yeah, I love Dante's Inferno. I love the idea of it. I love the poem of it. Everything like that is so great. It's like so fucking great. But yeah, like I think some things can have been done better. But now, like, understanding it better, I think that watching it a second time will make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a movie you have to watch at least 2 times
Yeah.
before you get all the puzzles.
Yeah.
Pieces of the
Yeah.
puzzle on there.
And also, I think, like, preferred, you should probably have the knowledge about what Dante's Inferno is. Either, like, the poem, I believe it's a book too, or maybe even play the game to understand what it is about.
There is an animated movie as well from
Yeah.
2010, which was based on the video game.
Yeah.
I think we should cover that at some point.
Yeah, and
actually.
Yeah, definitely.
it was like made by several different animated
Yes.
artists. I do
Yes.
know that.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so like my rating of it is 7 Circles of Hell. It's
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna rewatch it at some point.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Did you say 7 out of 10?
Yeah.
You gave it a higher ranking rating than me.
Yeah.
Gasp. You're supposed to be the Simon Cowell of the group.
My heart, my soul. And here's where Joseph cuts in like the meme, my heart, my soul, gif. Yeah, no.
I was just shocked. I didn't even find any words.
When it comes to like, I like the movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Not necessarily the best execution of the concept, but they didn't really do the concept bad either, in that regard.
Yeah, I like the scene, like the end where they get out of the manhole and how she's like, so like they look up and they can see this, was like the streets and shit. Or like, no, they look down and they can see the sky. It's like, it's so cool.
Yeah.
The idea of it and how they get out of the hole was also really cool. Like gravity shifting like that.
Yeah.
That.
But at the same time, I think that she should have been the only survivor.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have been free. I think she should have survived alone. But that they were like the Philosopher's Stone wouldn't have healed the translator, and that the last guy from the explorer group that they met up with would have
George and Zed, I think their name were.
Yeah. I think like both of them should have died and she should have been alone, and that she returns the stone. She sees her father. She understands what she has to do, but comes back and like he's bled out, and the other guy, something has happened to him and he's also dead when she comes back.
Or he could be getting killed just when she arrives back.
Exactly. Like, because
they could very simply have like let the guy bleed out, and the other guy could have been taken or grabbed before he could repent, forcing her to be the sole repenter. And that.
That's what I mean about rewriting the end of the movie, because I think that would have made the movie better.
Yeah.
and not as like forced that it's 3 survivors because he's basically her love interest and she's his love interest.
George is actually her ex-boyfriend, I think.
Yeah,
But
probably.
at least I wrote that in my old review of the film.
Alright.
Well,
Yeah, no, it's like, what do you guys think? Do you agree with me? Would that have been a better end, or would it have been a less good, or like a worse ending?
I think I like the idea that it was like survivors, but at the same time, it would have been better if there was like a sole survivor, because there so far I have like watched 3 found footage movies, but so far this is the only one that you have survivors in, and I think it would have worked better if you had a sole survivor, because it would have made like the ending scene more impactful, and it would also explained how the footage got out there, except like the camera that got left behind. But at the same time, it would have made her experience and like realizing of the truth greater, and when they showed like her interview from the beginning again in the end, it would have been all the better knowing that she just wanted to find the truth. She did, but at what cost? Because the cost would have been extremely much like greater.
Yeah, she got more than what she was bargaining for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Angel. Would have been a more of a downbeat ending, of course, but sometimes a downbeat ending is better than a well, I can't really say happy ending because people got killed, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I think they should have rewritten the ending a little bit.
Yeah. Like,
definitely.
I feel like either you have like a sole survivor or you can have like 3 survivors, but at that point I feel like you should have more characters that you lose throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Because the more survivors you have, you should have like a ratio. You have this group of people, at least like 90% of them have to die. And in order to have 3 people survive, you have to have more people to still make it 90% death rate.
Yeah.
Because it feels a bit like too happy of ending for all the darkness and all the like spooks and creeps that happened, to have like 3 survivors.
Yeah.
So yeah, having 1 survivor and having her like be the final girl, like it fits the genre very much of like horror, and at the same time it is a trope. It is a trope for a reason, I feel like.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, like, so yeah, do we want to talk any more about the movie, or do you feel like we're done?
I got those quotes I wanted to read out. And this is a long one, so bear with me here.
No.
No.
Denied.
Denied. The complete journey of hell through the secret tunnels of the catacombs of Paris are as follows. The vestibule. The group encounters a gathering of 2 sets of divided cultist female souls, a Fox tunnel and the 9 circles. This area overseeing the gates of hell is where one hears the anguished screams of the damned, and contains the souls of 2 classes. 1, opportunists, and 2, outcasts. The clothed cultists are the opportunists, and naked are the outcasts. And then the first circle is limbo, like I already mentioned. Long tunnels containing the inscriptions of poetry and philosophy pertaining to famous divine comedy cited figures and the directionless soul of La Taupe. The guy, what was the mole? And the second circle is lust. Almost completely colorless tunnels, the loud vortex of souls, hissing of Minos and Italian inscriptions. The third circle is gluttony. Widened third floor tunnel section containing the growl of an unseen Cerberus. The fourth circle, greed. Enclosure containing the Mark of David, engraving of Plutus, trapped treasure, and a false philosopher's stone for single use. Fifth circle, wrath, the damaged reverse enclosure of greed, which is completely empty, minus a filthy water entrance. The sixth circle, heresy, Florentine walls and flame-lit enclosure with 3 ring inscriptions. The seventh circle, violence, shattered stone pool enters the enclosure cavern area. Suxi is killed in the first ring, violence against neighbors, when La Taupe beats her to death. The second, against self, contains hallucinations of Scarlet's father, and the third, satanic occultist markings are over sandy tunnels. The eighth circle, fraud, how the fuck do you pronounce that word? Amphitheater. Jesus
you write
Christ.
it?
Hey, if you send it to me, I can
Yeah.
probably pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll just. Yeah, hold on.
You can share it on Discord.
Yeah.
Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Shaped area with drop and the manifestation of Benji's victim of Bologna 1 and 2. Pandering, seduction, and flattery, which results in him falling from fraud to treachery. And the ninth and last circle, treachery. Water tunnels with Danny beneath them, leading to the 4 caverns. The second cavern, the betrayal of community, ties in which Simonic Papillion is killed by the manifestation of the man he left for dead in a vehicle fire, where he meets a Simonic's fate. The throne, a wooden chair, and the devil himself appear here, along with the robed demons of what can be believed to be Judas Iscariot, Antenor, and Ptolemy. The demon of Cain appears as the first horrendous wall demon that bites George. The final area of hell, traversed within the ninth circle, is the bottomless pit of penitence and the reverse leap of fate. Jesus Christ, that was a mouthful. But yeah.
Yeah, that explains things.
I like that they included the pretty famous quote, "Abandon all hope, ye who enter here," as well in the film.
Yeah.
It's written over the gates of hell in the poem.
Yeah.
Even though they read it like in the, I think it's the 5th circle or the 6th circle, when it really should have been at the beginning of the tunnels.
Yeah.
So that's a minor fuck up, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we have any trivia?
We do. Should I?
Yep.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Please
I don't have anything.
Okay. The budget was $5 million, and it grossed $8.3 million in its opening weekend in the States. It went on to gross $21.3 million in North America, and $20.6 million in other territories. for a total gross of $41.9 million. So the movie didn't bomb, really. I would say it was a small success. With permission from the French authorities, the film was shot in the real catacombs of Paris. There was very little use of props, as the actors had to use the environment around them. Production in the actual catacombs was difficult for the cast and especially the crew, as there was no electricity or cell phone service in the centuries-old tunnels.
Yeah.
The title of the film comes from Masonic teachings and lore, which in turn is based heavily on Christian language and belief. Specifically, being transcribed from a part of the Lord's Prayer, in which the phrase "on earth as it is in heaven," which they also mention in the film, refers to God's will being carried out both in heaven and on earth as he sees fit. As part of the promotion for the film, Felix Kjellberg, aka PewDiePie, and his wife Marcia Bisognin traveled through the Paris catacombs, where they would be scared in a variety of ways. Which is pretty interesting as a promotion.
Well, he's a big name.
Yeah. The film received generally negative reviews from critics, but fan response was more positive. And I got a couple of snippets here from reviews. Peter D. Bruch gave the film a mixed review in Variety, writing, "It all makes for clumsy fun escapism, not bad as an end of summer chillers go, but small time compared with other legendary releases." The Bruch also called the ending unspeakably corny.
It was a bit.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah. Kyle Anderson's review in Entertainment Weekly stated that As Above has some genuine scares. The stakes begin as gut-wrenchingly real, with the team feeling disoriented hundreds of meters beneath the streets, but the film gets downright silly once the caverns become malevolently sentient. Bruce DeMara wrote in the Toronto Star, "As Above, So Below has some good scares and a decent cast, but it's yet another found footage thriller, so jittery camera sequences may induce nausea." Peter Bradshaw stated in The Guardian, "There are some interestingly contrived moments of claustrophobia and surreal lunacy, but this cliched and slightly hand-me-down script neither scares nor amuses very satisfyingly." Drew Hunt expressed similar sentiments as Peter Bradshaw in the Chicago Reader, writing, "An intriguing and intensely creepy premise is squandered on this rudimentary found footage horror film." I got two more things there. Terry Staunton gave the film a mildly positive review in Radio Times, stating, "It's a perfectly serviceable addition to the found footage genre of thrillers from director co-writer Jon Erik Dowdle, who puts the camera in each character's helmet, allowing quick cuts from one scene to another. But despite the claustrophobia of the setting, he never quite racks up enough tension for a full-on fright fest." Okay, so the last thing here then. The entertainment-oriented website JoBlo, Joblo, wrote, "Not the worst example of found footage by a long shot, and it moves a decent pace with a couple of good scares. However, this could have been a far more frightening feature if only it had expanded on its scary premise. And that's everything I got. A thing I forgot to ask you guys. Were there any scenes you thought, that got you, like jump scares and stuff?
Thinking about it. Not really any like really big scares or anything like that. But I think the scenes that had like the most like effect, I would say, or were the most like effective in terms of like making me uncomfortable, would be the scene in the beginning when the cameraman gets stuck in the bones.
Yeah, Benji.
Yeah, Benji, and then when Benji is about to go down the tunnel, when you see the lady like walk past him.
Yeah.
They were not really like scared me, but they were the one that I would say would be the scariest. Yeah, or the most uncomfortable settling.
The jump scare when Benji is about to go down the rope actually got me the first time I saw the film. And I knew it was coming, something was coming, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Any additional scenes?
No. Alright, so I think we're done.
I would say so.
Alright, so Zombie, what's the next pick?
For the next pick, I don't really know how to introduce it, but I have chosen an Asian movie. I am not 100% sure from which country it is, but it is A Tale of Two Sisters from 2003.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't really know a lot about it. I found the DVD of it, like browsing a store at a festival, and I thought it sounded interesting, so I wrote it down for now, basically.
Alright. So, Joseph, what are we playing out with?
We're playing out with, I don't know if I can pronounce this right, but La Femme Hypsolin. I think it's this song that plays out during the end credits, I think. It's a French song.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, let's say goodbye to the good folks.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, good people. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
Goodbye, good people. Hope we get to see you in the next episode. And if you liked what you heard, please press the subscribe button so you find your way back. Later, everyone.
Creuse une croix dans ton poumon, fais jaillir la copale. Une nuit froide, tu te glaces dans le fluide infernal. Hivernal, tu souris dans un monde, il fait nuit. Ipsoline, Ipsilon, Ipsoline, psychologue.
Infidèle, amour tendre, regard noir, mémoire blanche. Sur mes hanches, tu t'épanches et soudain tu t'élances. De profil, la pâle te rappelle la cabane. Amnésique du dimanche, psychotrine te débranche.
Mets du beurre dans ton saumon, faisant jaillir le napalm. Lentement, tu oublies dans les tubes qui s'enrhument près du lac. Tu ressens les premiers symptômes et tu mets les pieds dans l'eau, noyé seul dans ton citron.